So today we are studying about atmosphere. What does atmosphere mean? Atmosphere is the blanket of gases held by the earth by the force of gravity. Force of gravity means what this does to the atmosphere. It confined toward the earth's surface. The atmosphere has confined to the earth's surface. The 50% of the atmospheric mass you can get in the first 5.6 kilometers, and the 90 kilometer of its mass to the 30 kilometers, and 99% to the first 40 kilometers. The average height of the atmosphere is 400 to 500 kilometers, but in the first 40 kilometers you will find the 99% of the mass of the atmosphere. So the atmosphere is held to the earth by force of gravity. The first thing we have covered, the composition of the atmosphere. Composition means atmosphere is made up of what type of things? It's gases, water vapors, and dust particles mainly. First of all, the gases. This ascending and the descending order you have to learn. First one is nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, then argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, krypton, xenon, and hydrogen. The confusion remains in this argon and CO2. This question is asked in various exams, that the configuration you have to arranged. So the first one is nitrogen, then oxygen, then argon, and oxygen is 0.003% of the atmosphere, and the least one is hydrogen. In gases, fundamental one is CO2, carbon dioxide. Before moving to the carbon dioxide, let's just study about the global heat balance. There is two terms, insolation and the out radiation. Insolation means the sun rays which enters the earth's surface. You will study about heat budget in next section. So there is the solar radiation which comes in the earth atmosphere, which is known as insolation, means incoming solar radiation of sun. Incoming solar radiation of the sun are short wavelengths. This is a question UPSC asked, that the solar radiation which comes to the earth is short waves or long waves. So it is short wave radiations. So insolation is a short wavelength, but the rays going out of the atmosphere are long wave, and they are majorly responsible for the heating of the earth. In between tropic of Cancer and tropic of Capricorn, 35-degree north to 35-degree of south, the insolation is greater than out radiation. Insolation is greater than out radiation. Why? Because there are gases, there are dust particles, there are water vapors, there are many things which can absorb the radiation. So the insolation is greater than out radiation. Whereas in the polar regions, there is deficit. Why there is deficit? Because there is negligible amount of dust particles and all the things which can absorb the radiation. So that's why. And the thing is, atmospheric circulation and oceanic circulation, we have seen that the air moves from high pressure to low pressure, and oceanic, same as it is high to low. Why it is happening? To balance the atmosphere, to balance the all the gases and the energy transfer from one place to another place, so that we can get a balance. You have seen sand breeze, land breeze. These all are example of balancing the heat of atmosphere. So in this way, though insolation is greater than out radiation in the middle latitudes, and out radiation is greater than insolation in the polar regions. And now CO2 is transparent to the incoming solar radiation, and it is opaque to the outgoing radiation. It either it absorb or reflect toward the earth. What I have written here already is that it absorbs the terrestrial radiation, or otherwise it will reflect back toward the earth, so that the earth became warm. And it is the main reason for global warming. Because of the increase of the CO2, the absorption and the reflection increases, so the temperature of the earth increased. You can easily get this from a car which stand on in a in summer it parked in any parking which is not covered, so the sun rays come to it. The shield, you can glass shield, you can imagine that it is CO2. It will transparent to the incoming radiation, but it will opaque to the outgoing radiation, so the car heats up. It's a common example of global warming, same as global warming. Next, so the thing we have to remember is that CO2 is transparent to the incoming radiation and opaque to the outgoing radiation. Next one, water vapor. Water vapor decrease with altitude. It means in equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, we can get most of the water vapor. Above that, there is reduction of it. In the warm and the wet tropics, we can get 4% of air by volume, whereas in the dry and the polar region we get 1% of the air to be that which contain water vapors. It decrease from equator to the poles. Line to be remembered. It absorb the part of insolation from the sun and preserve earth radiated heat. So it is also absorb the part of the insolation and earth radiated heat it will preserve. So it acts like a blanket around the earth, neither to be cold and neither to be too hot. It is one of the reason of earth to be a planet, living planet, because of the water vapors, because it absorb and also preserve the earth radiated heat. So it take cares that the earth cannot be more hot or not be so cold, so it preserve the planet for living. It also, so that will contribute to the stability and the instability of in the air. If there is an increase of water vapor, it will increase the humidity. If there is increase in humidity, there will be very uncomfortable situation for the human being to live. Like in 2024, it is the hottest year of the century, because the water vapor content, because of the heat and because of the sun radiation, the water vapor level increases, humidity increases, and there is no thing to escape it. So it leads to a unstable condition. That's why it contributes to the stability and the instability in the air. Next particle. So what you have to learn, that it decrease or increase from the pole or the pole toward the equator. It absorb the insulation part. It will acts like a blanket along the earth, neither to be cold nor to be hot, and it contribute to the stability and the instability of in the air. Next part is dust particles. Dust particles can be originate from the different sources like sea, salt, fine soil, smoke, ash, pollens, dust, etc. The pollution, what is increasing? The dust particle is only increasing. They are generally concentrated in the lower layer of the atmosphere. The atmosphere has the capacity to hold on this, but the conventional air currents may transport it to great height. Conventional air current, let's study about it in a little while. So it is a conventional air current which can give it to greater height. The higher the concentration of the dust particle in the subatomic and the subtropical and the temperate region compared to the equatorial and the polar region. Why is that so? Because in the equatorial region there is rain, and other things, whereas in the subtropical and the temperate region there are mainly which is responsible for the dust particle is wind, the Lu, the Sirocco, and other Harmantle. The winds which flows are the main region for the dust particles to move ahead. Higher concentration of the dust particles is in there, because in the equatorial and the polar region they can deposit by rain and other things. So that's why it is the point to be remembered that they are in higher concentration, because in the subtropical and the temperate region as compared to the equatorial and the polar region, it acts as a hygroscopic nuclei. Hygroscopic nuclei, what does it mean? That this is water vapor. Around water vapor it got deposit. This is dust particle, sorry, this is dust particle and the water vapor get deposit around it, and when it moves upward it get condensed, and because of the condensation they will fall in, they will become clouds, they produce cloud and rain happening. So the thing is, the actual formation of the cloud and rains you will find in other chapter, but there you only have to know about the hygroscopic nuclei. Hygroscopic nuclei is the only the dust particles. It's the dust particles around which the water vapor deposited, and then it condenses and produce the cloud. So 3 things you have to remember in dust particles. First one is they are concentrated in the lower out, but because of the conventional air current they move to greater height. The high concentration of the dust particle is more in the subtropical and the temperate region as compared to the equatorial and the polar regions. They act as a hygroscopic nuclei, which results in cloud formation. Now there are some basic terms we have to learn. First one is wind. What is wind? The horizontal movement of air. It moves toward high to low pressure. Why it moves to high to low pressure? To balance out the uneven distribution of air pressure. Okay, now current. What is current? The vertical movement of the air. Conduction, we all know conduction and convection in the science book, that conduction is the heating up of the air, and convection is the heating up of the air layer by layer. Like the fluid which boils, how it boils, the lowermost layer first heat up, then it moves above, the colder layer will go at the bottom, then it heats up, it moves forward. In this way there is a cycle in which the fluid boils. In the same way the atmosphere heat up layer by layer by layer by layer. So conduction is the process of heat transfer. Convection is the process of heat transfer from place to place within a fluid, cause the movement of the fluid itself. Nothing to learn, just to simply understanding that layer by layer the heat goes up and air moves in the upward direction. Adiabatic change in temperature is adiabatic change in temperature means without actual heat transfer. without actual heat transfer, there is change in temperature. How it can get, how it will happen? There is a simple example of column of air. Column of air means you can take a container, separate it in 3 equal parts. This part has to be different from this two. This is totally confined. Now the air will move. Now the air will move, and at one point of time it will get expand. When it get space, it will get expand, and because of that it will get cooled. So the movement of the air and the expansion of it leads to its temperature to cool down. Now it get, because it get cooled, it will get sink. Because of the sink, the particles move toward each other, and because of that compression happen, and because of compression heat generates. So the movement of the particles only can create the coolness and heatness. By expansion we can get coolness, and by compression we can get heat. So actual, without actual heat transfer means we cannot transfer the heat, but because of the expansion and the compression the heat is transferred above and the below. Column of the air, vertical atmosphere over particular area which is different from the adjoining area. Warmer air is lighter, therefore it rises. क्योंकि warmer air light होती है तो वो rise करेगी. As it will get rises, it get adiabatically cold. Why? Because it get expand. The cooler air is denser, तो वो क्या करेगी, sink करेगी. Because it is dense, so it will sink. As it sink, it get adiabatically warm because of compression, and this is known as adiabatic change in temperature. Fair enough. Now move toward it. देखो, this is equator. This is equator and this is pole. We just take this line and put it in this way from vertical to horizontal. This is equator, this is polar. You will find here that the height of these are different. The approximate height of equator is 18 kilometer, whereas in pole it is approximately 8 kilometer. Why it's so? Because at the equator there is conventional current is very strong. Conventional current is very strong, so it leads the air to move high and high and high up to 18 kilometers. But in the polar air there is no heat, there is no heat, there is a negligible amount of conventional current and adiabatic change in temperature. So it will leads to approximately 8 kilometers of the height of the troposphere. This is troposphere. Atmosphere is like this. So there is differential heating of the earth surface. Differential heating means in the polar region you will get other thing, in the equator you will get other thing. So there is differential pattern of it. From the equator to the pole, the height of the troposphere has a spatial variation. Yes, the height of it is very easy. In equator it is higher, in the polar region it will at a lower height. At a given place the height of the troposphere varies seasonally. Yes, in summer season you will get a high height, in the winter region you will get in a lower height. Why? Because of the temporal region, because of the temperature, because of the sinking, expansion, all these things. So there is very seasonally temporal variation, summer higher, winter lower. After that, we move to a topic known as atmosphere. What atmosphere consists of, where what are the layers, what are the gases. There are three zonation: thermal zonation, compositional zonation, and functional zonation. What is the function of atmosphere, what are the compositions, and what are the things, what are the things sorry. So thermal zonation, increase in the height. Thermal zonation is the increase in the height with decrease in temperature. We all know, as we go high and high, the temperature decreases. Then there is a it here chalo troposphere. Troposphere, here you will find two things: environmental lapse rate and normal lapse rate. What is environmental lapse rate? Environmental lapse rate defined as with increase in height there is decrease in temperature. It is approximately 5 degrees Celsius for every kilometer, but it can vary to 5 degrees Celsius per kilometer to 10 degrees Celsius per kilometer. And the normal lapse rate is the average of ELR, which is 6.4 to 6.5 kilometers per hour. Okay, so the increase in height, decrease in temperature can be defined as environmental lapse rate, how much temperature will decrease for every kilometers. And what is normal lapse rate? Normal lapse rate, it is the average of ELR. With every increase of the kilometer, what is the decrease in temperature? So there is a layer called tropopause. Troposphere is the layer which act as temperature inversion. In the troposphere, we have go through a cycle which is known as water cycle. The water, because of the air is light, so it will rise, then it expand, then it will get dense, and then it sinks again. It will increase of temperature, and then the cycle moves and moves in. So all the things of it is happening in troposphere. Tropo in Latin word is known as to turn. By tropopause, the air moves upward and then downward, moves upward and then downward. It cannot go beyond it. In the stratosphere, there is increase in height, there is increase of temperature, and in the troposphere, there is increase in height, there is decrease in temperature. So the line between them is the tropopause. Troposphere act as a lead. So all the weather, temperature, all the climate change happens in the troposphere only. It does not go beyond it. So troposphere is acting as a lead. In the stratosphere, there is increase in height, there is increase of temperature. Why it is so? Because there is ozone layer. In the ozone layer, what it does, it absorb the UV radiation. Because of the absorption, because of the sun radiation, the temperature increases here. In the lowermost layer of the stratosphere, lowermost layer above troposphere, this is the idle layer for aircraft and other thing, because of three reasons. What are the three reasons? Because there is no temporal variation, there is no temperature variation, because all the weather change happens in the troposphere, so there is no temporal variation. Second one, there is nothing called weather and the climate. Weather and climate doesn't happen here. It is isothermal condition. ठीक है, absence of the strong conventional current which makes the air to move up and then it down. So there is no conventional current, there is absence of cloud, there is no cloud over there. So above it, it gives a ideal condition for aircrafts. Mesosphere, again increase in the height, decrease in temperature. In the mesopause is the layer where you will find minimal temperature of the atmosphere. Minimal temperature of the atmosphere, you will find it approximately minus 100 degrees Celsius. You will find here. Thermosphere, ionosphere, increase in height, increase in temperature. Why it's so? Because ionosphere we define itself as there is ions. Because of the ions, the temperature get increased, and because of that there is increase in height, there is increase in temperature. And above that there is exosphere. We don't know anything much about exosphere. It is beyond our right now, beyond our research, or beyond our. Okay, now the homosphere means approximately you will find the same atmosphere. It is approximately 80 kilometers. In heterosphere you will find different changes in the atmosphere. It is beyond 80 kilometers, so it is heterosphere. Functional zonation is ozone formation largely in the stratosphere. Layers are changes in the ionosphere, which is largely considering with thermosphere means. So this is it. With density increase, with the increase in height, density decrease. Troposphere approximately 13 किलोमीटर. एवरेज हाइट ऑफ ट्रोपोस्फेयर इज़ 13 किलोमीटर. एवरेज 80 किलोमीटर्स रहती है पोल्स पे एंड 18 किलोमीटर्स रहती है इक्वेटर पे. थिकनेस ग्रेटर एट द इक्वेटर. जो ट्रोपोस्फेयर की जो थिकनेस होगी, थिकनेस इट इज़ जस्ट लाइक दैट 18 किलोमीटर्स एंड 8 किलोमीटर. थिकनेस इसकी ज़्यादा रहती है. ऑल चेंजेस इन द क्लाइमेट एंड द वेदर टेक प्लेस इन दिस लेयर ओनली. Troposphere act as a lead of the troposphere because of the temperature inversion across it. Across it means ऊपर temperature inversion रहेगा, नीचे ELR रहेगा. So it will act like a lead. Environmental lapse rate, it is the decline in temperature with increase in height. What is it? Approximately 5 degrees Celsius per kilometer to as much as 10 degrees Celsius decline per kilometer. Normal lapse rate we can take the average of ELR, so it is 6.4 to 6.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer. The zone separating troposphere from the stratosphere is called tropopause. The temperature is about minus 18 degrees Celsius over the equator and minus 45 degrees Celsius temperature. So the temperature in troposphere is nearly constant. Above it, approximately about 50 kilometers, you will find the stratosphere. It contains the ozone layer for absorption of the UV radiation. Lower part of the stratosphere provide ideal condition for flying of aircraft because of the three major reasons. Why? There is absence of cloud, there is absence of the strong conventional current, and presence of isothermal. The temperature remains constant. Mesosphere up to 80 kilometers, temperature decrease होता है with increase in height. Minus 100 degrees Celsius at 80 degrees Celsius, and it is the coolest part of the atmosphere. What is temperature emergent? With increase in height there is increase of temperature for short moment. इसका एग्जाम्पल एक फ्रंटल सिचुएशन भी है, वो भी आप अलग चैप्टर में पढ़ेंगे जब आप साइक्लोन वगैरह को पढ़ेंगे तब. कूलेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द एटमोसफेयर इज मीजोपोज. आइनोस्फेयर 800 से 400 किलोमीटर तक रहता है. इलेक्ट्रिकली चार्ज है ये. रेडियो वेव्स होता है, इसलिए इसमें इंक्रीज देर इज इंक्रीज इन टेम्परेचर विद इंक्रीज इन हाइट. अब अंदर अपर मोस्ट इज थर्मोस्फेयर, एक्सोस्फेयर मर्ज विद द आउटर एटमोसफेयर हो जाता है. व्हाट आर द एलिमेंट्स ऑफ वेदर एंड द क्लाइमेट? टेम्परेचर, प्रेशर, ह्यूमिडिटी, क्लाउड्स, पीपीटी. रिमेंबर इट. आप क्वेश्चन तो नहीं आते इससे, बट येस वी डन विद द चैप्टर कॉल्ड एटमोसफेयर. थैंक यू वेरी मच.